I ask my Amazon driver to do a dance before he delivers my package.
That's the latest. I don't know how much of a trend it is on TikTok, but apparently people are doing this over and over again with their Ring doorbells, requesting that their Amazon drivers do a little dance for them as they deliver the package so they can have a good hearty har because that's the Amazon driver's job. Let's look into this to see if that's true. So from Vice News, they said TikTok users leave a sign on their door or they leave a note in their instructions for the driver on the Amazon app asking that their drivers dance for the camera, as you saw. Then they put it online for the enjoyment of everyone else. Oh, so sweet. Now, by the way, some of these requests aren't just dancing. As from this particular part, they go, as a food, this was tweeted by Michael E. Thomas, says, as a food delivery driver, I've had all kinds of requests like this. The worst was when a customer wrote in the instructions, quote, bark like a seal and I'll give you $5. Drivers don't generally like it, but of course when they're delivering and they're probably happy to have the job in the first place, they think this is one way to keep it. So because of Amazon's, quote, customer obsession, some drivers feel pressured to do whatever a customer says to avoid receiving a bad review or a complaint. These workers, who aren't paid to perform, I think that part is pretty obvious, are also being turned into social media celebrities by people who film them with surveillance cameras and feel entitled to leverage them into content. So again, that part I hadn't even thought of yet, that then they get all the views and the followers at the expense of this driver who, again, was only paid to deliver the package. And also another person here speaking about their experiences said, yeah, I've seen that in all kinds of other requests. This person from the Midwest also told Motherboard, technically, if the delivery associate doesn't follow the instructions, they can get dinged on their metrics for not doing so. So there's one other part about this. Some are trying to push back against this as far as the ratings and what they have to do. I've seen them ask me to do a twirl or a dance. It's mostly Ring cameras. Every house has a Ring camera these days. A driver from upstate New York told Motherboard as well. I've seen these requests in the app. If they said it in person, I would probably smack that out of them. So yeah, I'm on the neighborhood and Nextdoor app, and people always post their Ring things to talk about this creepy guy who walked up at their building and everything. So yes, everyone does have them. So if you walked by any of your neighbors' houses, you've been recorded. Hope you didn't like pick your nose or something because you're definitely on somewhere there. But there's one other part about this. There's other things, other problems. If you thought it was just this for these drivers to deal with having to dance or bark like a seal or any of these other things, the normal things they probably worry about. There's way more stuff that's a problem than this. This driver from upstate New York also continued to talk about. My side view mirror has been broken for the past 6 months. On the highway, I don't have a passenger mirror. Now, if that's an Amazon driver, at least the ones I've seen around my neighborhood, they're driving Amazon trucks. That's not his Toyota Corolla with the broken side mirror that he's driving dangerously on the freeway without that. But make sure those customers see you dance. Again, I don't know if that's explicitly from Amazon, but they feel that way at least.
Yeah, I think it's a mixed bag. I think that, look, my guess is that it started out innocent, right? That people thought it'd be fun, both the people making the request and the drivers. And some of the drivers look like they're having fun. But I watched a bunch of them, and one of the guys did this then, like he did the dance, and then he was like this. Like meaning like, oh, I did it and I'm done with it. So it made me feel like, it in a sense, it visually confirmed some of the quotes that JR read for you guys, that at this point, a lot of the drivers are like, no, I don't want to dance for you, right? And of course it's gonna be mixed. Some people are gonna think it's no big deal and they're gonna have fun dancing, and some people are gonna hate it. But the people doing it, they might not even know, yeah, the driver could get dinged for that if they don't follow your instructions. So my guess and my hope is that once people find out, they'll be like, oh, I didn't want to make them do that. I didn't want to, like, I was just trying to have fun, right? And so probably it'll die down because of that. But I'm a believer in humanity, and that hasn't worked out great for me.
No.
I'm a little too optimistic often. David, what do you think?
Well, no, I think it's a great point, and I hope that people will now change their notes and say you don't have to dance, but if you're in the mood, give us a little dance or something to sort of brighten our day. And then that way, the drivers can do it if they want or not. I just sort of wonder if the role was reversed. And let's suppose that an Amazon driver, let's suppose a DoorDash driver knocked on your door and said, hey, I'll give you some food and I won't eat some of your French fries. You give me a dance or bark like a seal before I hand it to you. I mean, the people inside would be frightened. They'd be terrified, and then justifiably so. That's not how this should operate. So, yeah, I like the idea of, okay, great. People want to, have some fun and brighten up your driver's day. Then, have them sing, have them moon you. I don't know, but at a certain point, it shouldn't be required. You shouldn't hang that over a driver's head in order for a good review.
I think we're missing. No, I get it. Again, that's what I was saying. When you first see, you're like, oh, maybe people are thinking this is a lighthearted thing, but there's so many extra layers that, again, maybe some people didn't understand. But as we understand it, though, we were just talking today about Black Mirror, and there was that episode. It's one of my favorite ones. I don't know if you guys watched this as extensively as I did. I've seen every episode twice. I love that show. But the episode where there was, I think it was called Nosedive. I had to look up the name of the actual episode, and it's this woman in some form of the future with social media where everyone can automatically give you a yes or a no just from a passing encounter. If you accidentally stumble and spill your coffee on someone's shirt, then they're like, oh, and they hold up their phone at you and swipe you down. And if your social status drops enough, it's like bad credit. You're kind of a pariah, just not with the creditors and who you can get money and loans from, but with just general society. This is one of those things, if you're ranking me in my job and this is my livelihood and I know it's possible, I don't know if you will or not, and you're sitting there like, maybe if I don't do this, I guess I'll do it because I want to keep this job. I'm a driver, Jesus used to work at UPS, remember back in the day?
Yeah.
And he said he was always in the stock room or whatever part of it was. And the bosses, not the real bosses, but the job that's most sought after are the drivers. You get to be out in the fresh air, you get to drive a truck, you get to experience different things. It's a change of pace every day. It's probably a highly sought after position within Amazon, so you don't want to lose that either.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that either, so that's a good point. Jesus also told us other things they did at that warehouse, but anyways.
Can I make a confession here?
Yeah.
Because I think it's relevant. My confession is just yesterday here in Fairfield County, Connecticut. I mean, we were the idiots who didn't shovel the snow, and so our driveway got really icy. And most of the deliveries, they would just stay on the street. But of course, the Amazon guy comes down our driveway and he gets stuck. And so we get this pounding on the door, and the Amazon driver's driving for 20 minutes to get out of the drive. I felt terrible. Now, I suppose I could have gone out there with my phone and recorded it, and I would have gotten tons of views. Hey, Amazon driver can't get out of the driveway, haha. That would have been humiliating. And I feel bad enough bad enough as it is, the guy's having a rough day, he's having to waste time getting out of this knucklehead's driveway who wouldn't shovel the snow. And let's just make their job easier instead of more difficult.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, last couple of things here. Look, to me, dancing and barking like a seal are like not at all related, right? If you ask somebody to bark like a seal, you should get your ass kicked, okay? And obviously we're against physical violence, etc. But that's not a thing you ask a person to do, right? But dancing can go either way. Dancing could be super fun. Oh, we're just kidding around, or it could be some guy saying, "Dance for me, boy." Then no, we're not doing that, right? So, but now here comes a turn. My beef is actually mainly with Ring. Those things stress me out, man. Like everybody's watching you at all times. Like, so that's a Black Mirror episode.
Yeah.
Everybody's become Big Brother, right? You don't have to worry about the government or whatever. It's your neighbor down the street. Oh, I saw you walking by, and I saw you doing this or that. Well, creeper, why are you constantly watching the video on your Ring, right? And by the way, that hasn't happened to me, but am I, like everybody in the neighborhood has Ring, and I walk around the neighborhood all the time. I don't do anything weird, but they could be like, hey, why is that guy walking around stoned? Did I say that out loud? Okay. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.